my skin, I feel my heart beating. Make me feel the kind of love again, kind of love again. Corners of my mind, I just can't seem to find a reason to believe I can break free. See, I have been down for so long, I feel like all hope is gone. As I lift my hands, I understand I should praise you for my circumstance. My feet so I can dance, I just wanna praise you, wanna praise you. You broke the chains, now I can lift my hands. I'm gonna praise you, I'm gonna praise you. Everything that could go wrong, it went wrong at one time. So much pressure fell on me, thought I was gonna lose my mind. But I know you wanna see that I will hold on through these trials. But I need you to lift this load, cause I can't take it no more. My feet so I can dance, I just wanna praise you, I just wanna praise you. Broke the chains, now I can lift my hands, and I'm gonna praise you, yes, I'm gonna praise you. Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. I once was lost, but now I'm found. Was blind, but now I see. Oh, yeah. Oh, I once was lost, but now I'm found. Was blind, but now I see. Take the shackles off my feet so I can dance. I just wanna praise you, I just wanna praise you. You broke the chains, now I can lift my hands, and I'm gonna praise you, yes, I'm gonna praise you, yeah. saved a wretch like me. I once was lost, but now I'm found. Was blind, but now I see. Oh, yeah. Oh,
There are high-quality youth workers here in this nation and in this room, so let's celebrate that tonight. We can give that a clap, I think. And for those of you who were nominated for an award, you've been noticed, you've been recognized, and you've been valued, and you've been appreciated. And this whole setup tonight is about you. It's about honoring you, and it's about saying thank you. And I think youth work is best done when it's naturally part of who we are. And it's a high calling on our lives. Whether we're voluntary or paid, whether we're young, just starting out, or we're a veteran youth worker, you know, this award ceremony shows that youth ministry should be taken seriously, and it shows that you do take it seriously. We don't do it for recognition, we don't do it for money or for our own gain. We do it because we believe that only Jesus Christ can shape young people's lives for the better. And I believe that we will see young people changed. We'll see our nation transformed and our world renewed when our young people see us imitating Jesus. Jesus who heals, restores, provides, and gives life. Life in all its fullness. Hebrews 13 says, "Remember your leaders who spoke the word of God to you. Consider the outcome of their way of life and imitate their faith. Jesus Christ is the same yesterday, today, and forever." What every church, what every school, what every community needs is its youth workers sold out to imitating Jesus Christ, desiring to see lives changed. And this room is full of youth workers of that kind. Young people are looking for spiritual heroes of today. Or young people are looking for good news, something they can commit their whole lives to. And there's a deep hunger in the heart of every young person to live a life of transformation, to make a difference and to be a difference in the world. The world events recently have taught us that young people want to see change. I want to tell you a little bit about a person in my life who spoke the word of God into it, someone who imitated Jesus to me. Now, when I was at school, at primary school, I was never good at football, and all I wanted to do was to be a professional footballer. I was the kind of kid who was set up to score a real corker of a goal, and only to find out that people would be shouting, "Lee, Lee, Lee, you're heading for the wrong goal." And I'd score in the wrong goal, but never my own. I was never up to date with what trainers there were, the ones to have. I was always the ones that my mum got off back of a lorry. And all I wanted was the Puma King, the black Puma King trainers. Did anyone have them with the lip that kind of curled over? That's all I ever wanted, and I never got them. And I was determined to get good at playing football. I managed to get into the school team. I don't know how that happened, but I did. But I was also always a sub. And my mum, she always cheered me on, and she said, "Son, they keep the best till last." So what happened was I'd eventually get chosen to go on and play. And to be honest, looking back now, it took me a while to figure out that I only got brought on the field when someone was stretchered off injured. It wasn't meant to be, obviously, but I had dreams of becoming a professional footballer. So I thought to myself, I'm going to sort this out. I'm going to do something about it. Now, on my street, I'm from a town called Beverley near Hull in East Yorkshire. And my street was an amazing street. It's called Grove Hill Road. And it was a really long street. And all the kids played out in the evenings. And it was just so much fun. And we caused a lot of trouble as well. But a few doors down from my house, there were some neighbours of ours. And they always displayed things in their windows. And one particular summer, they displayed a poster for a summer soccer school. Now, at this point, I was 10 years old. I wasn't a Christian, and nor was my family. But I knew these neighbours were. I'd see them every Sunday twice, morning and evening, walking past my window going to church. And I thought, surely they won't try and convert me on the football field. They won't try and make me sing hymns and things like that, because it's just going to be about the football. But I was so wrong. The first morning we arrived on the field was assigned different teams, and the coach started us off with a prayer. And I thought, okay, a little bit too much for football, but I'll go along with it. Maybe the guy's a Christian. Not for me, but it's for you. I calmed down, and I just took it as an alternative team talk. I thought this will be okay. And then we cracked on with learning some skills and getting on with playing football. And it was all going well until lunchtime, when they gathered us all together and they walked us down the road to the local church. And all I was thinking was, let me have my pack up and my jam sandwich and my jam wagon wheel. Do you remember jam wagon wheels? Do they still do them? They're amazing, aren't they? And all I wanted was my lunch. And they led us to this church, and they made us do a Bible study before we could open our packed lunches up. We'd have lunch. They'd allow us to have that. And then afterwards, they'd make us sit down, and we had to listen to one of the testimonies from one of the coaches. And I was all the time I was thinking, you know what, I've come here for the football. I've not come here for the churchy stuff, to hear about this guy called Jesus. It's not for me. But on the last day, on the Friday, I remember it to this day, a guy called Graham was sharing what Jesus meant to him. And this guy was in his 50s. He was old enough at the time to be my granddad. And all of a sudden, as he was sharing about what Jesus meant to him and the difference he'd made to his life, I looked around the room, and I looked at these people that had put on this football event, and I thought, there's something different about you. You have something in your life that I don't. And that day, Friday lunchtime, I gave my life to Jesus Christ. I remember going on the football pitch that afternoon, and it honestly felt like I'd been given a new lease of life. I got this energy from somewhere. And to be honest, it didn't make me a better footballer. But there was something about me that had changed from that moment. And recently, I was sat on my sofa in York, 19 years on from that date. And I was thinking about this guy, Graham. I was thinking about my story, where I've come from, and the ministry I'm involved in now. And I thought, I want to honor this man. And I found out his contact details and got in touch with him. And I said, look, I just want to say thank you for introducing me to Jesus. This is what I'm doing now. I love talking about Jesus to young people. I have a family, I have a wife and a daughter, and we all love Jesus, and it's all good. And he got back to me, and he said this. He said, "Keep pressing on, Lee. There is no greater work on the planet that you could be doing. Go full throttle with the gospel." And like Graham, there are potentially hundreds of young people looking up to you. In fact, I recently shared that story about Graham, and afterwards 2 young lads came up to me and said, "Do you know what? That same man introduced us to Jesus just a few years ago." And Graham's still at it. He's teaching young people about football and introducing people to Jesus. And tonight we celebrate people that have seen in you that there is something different about you. Graham gave all that he had. He gave what God had given him, and he was just himself and simply imitated Jesus, leading others to faith. And whatever our circumstances, whatever the statistics of youth work and church tell us, God is the same yesterday and today and forever. And now is not the time to grow colder, but it's time to get bolder. Let's not grow weary. Let's not be discouraged. Every single one of us here tonight is here because at least one person has believed in us. Someone believes in what you are doing. Someone believes that God is doing something good in and through you. And there is no greater calling in life than to imitate Jesus Christ. My daughter just turned 2 this week, and she's got to that stage where behavior is getting a little bit cheeky. She's beginning to form sentences, and conversation is getting interesting. And she's at that age where she's also imitating a lot of my actions. So we were shopping the other day, coming down an escalator. I was holding her hand, and I just crossed my legs like that. And my wife nudged me, and she said, "Look down." And Amara, my daughter, she looked up at me, and she went. She copied what I was doing with my legs. This morning, I was having a bit of a sneezing fit in my living room, and I was getting all the tissues out. And Amara was like, "What on earth's happening to Daddy?" And she came over and got a tissue out the box, and she got one of her dolls, and she pretended that the doll was sneezing. She went and wiped the doll's nose. She's at that age where she's imitating her father and her mother. And we need to remember that first and foremost, we aren't youth workers, we are children of God. Galatians 4 says, "So in Christ Jesus you are all children of God through faith." And what do children do? They imitate their mothers and their fathers. And youth ministry in our nation, more than ever, I think, is desperate for spiritual mothers and fathers. People that walk with their young people as they grow older, in it for the long haul. You know, there's a gaping hole for the youth club granny. There's a hole for men and women in our churches to step up just to mentor, to meet, and to get alongside young people. Young people can only imitate what they see, which is why youth work has to be more than just entertainment. It's the most wonderful thing, seeing young people grow into Christ-likeness and introducing them to Jesus. When I was 16, I spent some time on work experience, as you do, at secondary school, and I got the worst draw, and I got chosen to spend a week at the local county archives, and it was terrible. And I spent a week amongst dusty old documents, hundreds and hundreds of years old. It smelled, it made me sneeze because of all the dust, and it was just terrible. And I didn't particularly get on with the people because they were just different type of people that I worked with. And on the last afternoon, it's a Friday, my line manager came up to me, and I thought, she's going to give me the Friday afternoon off. She came up to me and said, "Right, since it's Friday afternoon, it's your last afternoon, I'm giving you some free time." I'm thinking, this is good, to do your own historical research. I thought, oh my word, that is my worst nightmare. And to be honest, I thought, well, I'm going to make use of it. Because at the age of 16, having been a Christian for 6 years and having been brought up in a non-Christian family, I was going through a little bit of an identity crisis. I was thinking, why am I so different from my parents? Why is my behavior, my attitudes to life changing, different from my parents? And to be honest with you, what was going through my mind was, am I not my parents' child? Am I adopted? Was I accidentally swapped in the hospital when I was born? All these kind of things as a 16-year-old lad were going through my mind. And what it was I actually spent that afternoon working out who I was. I found my birth certificate, my parents' marriage certificates, baptism certificates. I went back and back into my family tree. I was legitimately my parents' child. It was all fine. So I was like, well, what is it then? And I realized something clicked. I'm adopted by God. I was becoming more and more in the likeness of Jesus Christ. And my youth workers were imitating Jesus, and I was becoming more like him because of it. So tonight is all about saying thank you and well done, because young people are seeing Jesus through you and what you are doing. So as my friend Graham said, go full throttle with the gospel. Continue doing what you're doing. Don't grow colder, but get bolder. There is no greater calling in life than to imitate Jesus. Thank you.
Wow. Got a bit emotional there. Thank you, Lee, for challenging and inspiring us. Now for this year's awards, what you're here for.
Thank you. Well, over the last 5 years, the Youth Work Awards have become a focal point for celebrating excellence in Christian youth work around the UK. And we hope, as Leah said, that they highlight inspiring and amazing people and organisations who work so hard to change the lives of young people for the better.
The National Youth Work Awards are an innovation of Youthscape, a national youth work charity bringing innovation and new ideas to how the church works with young people.
So just to give you a little bit of a lie of the land, there are 6 awards this evening, each sponsored by an organisation or a college or even a denomination. Yeah. Representatives from each of these sponsors form a judging panel organised by Rachel Warwick, who we'll thank later and actually oversees all of these awards incredibly and makes all of this happen.
The panel meet and review each nomination, requesting more information where it's needed and making a decision on who to give the award to. The standard is incredibly high, and by just being in this room, you are showcasing the amazing work that your youth work is doing.
So this year we've had hundreds of nominations across these 6 categories.
Those nominations come from young people, other youth workers, parents, volunteers, or anyone who's been inspired by what you're doing.
So at a time when youth work is more important than ever for the church and for young people themselves, the awards highlight some amazing work and people.
So without further delay, let's get started on giving these awards out. Yep, it's me again. We begin this evening with the award for Best Youth Work Employer, sponsored by CPAS Ventures. CPAS Ventures is part of the wider work of the Church Pastoral Aid Society and runs more than 100 Christian holidays a year for 8 to 18-year-olds.
So, as you'll know, thousands of churches up and down the country employ full-time or part-time youth workers, and alongside volunteers, they're a crucial role model and inspiration for young people. How well they're able to do that often depends on the quality of the management and support they receive from their employers.
Tonight's award is for an employer who gives outstanding support to their youth workers. They invest in them, provide practical and spiritual support and encouragement. They're committed to training and ongoing personal development. They value not only what youth workers do for young people, but they value the youth workers themselves.
So the winning nomination receives a Go Ape experience for the whole team, which I guess is a good thing depending on whether or not you like heights.
Let's hear about the 3 finalists.
Upton Vale Baptist Church employs a youth pastor, a family worker and a children's worker, as well as overseeing a team of volunteers. The team appreciate the line management and pastoral care system, including daily staff devotions, social events and away days. The church provides a book budget to resource staff development and stay up to date with current thinking. They also offer a training budget and encourage professional development. The youth worker is currently taking a 3-month sabbatical to complete his ministerial accreditation. The membership of the church take a collective approach to supporting and caring for the staff at the church.
The Door is a youth project in Stroud, employing 20 full and part-time staff as well as a team of 80 volunteers. As an organisation, they are committed to the spiritual development of every member. The team regularly meet and pray together for their work and personal lives. Each staff member has a personal development plan and is able to access ongoing training. The senior management are committed to demonstrating the value of the team through celebratory activities such as bacon rolls. The Door are committed to developing some of their young people as volunteers and then youth workers where appropriate. Many of these young people are now valued members of the youth work team.
Norwich Youth for Christ employs a team of 9 youth workers and 3 gap year students. The team meet weekly for prayer, devotionals and project updates, taking monthly prayer days to pray specifically for the work and annual team retreats. Each staff member has regular line management sessions, which include discussion about any personal challenges the staff member is facing, what development opportunities they would like to pursue, and a reflection on the positive outcomes they are achieving. All staff members are encouraged to take regular retreat time to pray, read and reflect on their work. Staff say they feel accepted, encouraged, loved, challenged and cheered on in all areas of life.
So please welcome Tim Friend, the Ventures and Falcons Principal, to announce the winner and present the awards.
Thank you very much. Well, it's a privilege for CPAS to be sponsoring this particular award. You might not know much about CPAS, but CPAS is a Church of England mission agency set up in 1836 to take the gospel to every person's door, and continues to do that through a variety of means. So why are we sponsoring this particular award? Well, CPAS are patrons of almost 600 C of E churches across the country, and through that are part of the process of recruiting, appointing and training leaders for those churches to ensure that we're finding Bible-based, mission-minded, Christ-centered leaders to continue the mission in those places that they've been appointed to. And so also through the holidays, recruiting about 3,000 volunteers each year, so that we're really working hard to find the right people to serve in the right places to further mission. So we'd hope that we could spot an employer who's doing a good job of looking after its staff, finding the right people, helping them to flourish, really drawing out the best in each case. And so that's why it's a particular privilege for us to be sponsoring this award. And the winner of the award is an employer that offers a diverse range of opportunities for its staff to flourish, to be developed through different ways and end up in different positions, whether it's frontline youth ministry or behind the scenes administration or financial support, coming from volunteering, receiving in-house training and going on to find themselves sometimes in paid positions for that employer. And so if that hasn't given it away already, the winner of tonight's Youth Work Employer Award is The Door in Stroud.
Let's give them another round of applause.
Congratulations to the door on your win and to the other nominees. By reaching this stage of the awards and being nominated in the final 3, you are already an exceptional project.
Now on to our next award, which is Best Youth Work Resource, sponsored by Premier Youth Work magazine.
Premier Youth Work is the UK's most widely read youth work magazine, providing ideas and guidance, deep thinking features and themed curriculum.
You'll probably know that youth workers up and down the country rely on Youth Work magazine for the latest ideas, resources, all kinds of things. And they have a unique insight into what is being developed and produced by other organisations, so perfectly placed to sponsor this award.
Christian youth work is badly in need of new resources and approaches that will help the church reconnect with young people and tackle the issues that teenagers face. Last year, the PAYS project won this award for their brilliant Because You're Loved cards.
So this year, 4 new resources have made it through the selection process to reach this evening's final. And the winning resource will win a full-page ad in Youth Work magazine. So let's find out about those 4 nominated finalists.
Be Loved is an interactive and creative 6-week course designed to empower young women to experience a life full of adventure and to develop an exciting future. The course inspires each individual to pursue their identity through biblical scripture and provides a safe space to explore positive life choices. The heart of Be Loved is that each young woman will thrive within themselves, their relationships and with God. Young people who have completed the course say it improves their confidence and self-esteem and has given them a firmer understanding of their identity in Christ.
Decktails is a pack of cards with images on, designed to encourage youth workers and young people to share stories and explore the deeper meaning and implications of those stories. The cards are useful in one-to-one sessions with young people who struggle talking about situations or feelings with their family or friends. Using the cards, they are able to express with more clarity what is going on in their heads, as well as what their parents and siblings might be thinking and feeling. Decktails can help young people reflect on their behaviour and consider other possible solutions.
Walking in Their Shadow is a book and resource pack written to equip youth workers supporting young people working through grief and bereavement. The 5-session outlines are themed around Holy Week. Lex Bradley compiled the resource, drawing on her own experience of bereavement as a teenager, as well as her considerable experience as a school chaplain. The book offers a unique combination of practical advice, biblical teaching, and creative therapeutic techniques to help young people adjust to the concept of bereavement as a lifelong journey.
Seriously Awkward is a set of 6 sessions for youth groups, resourcing and addressing current issues. Produced by the Children's Society, the sessions cover identity, mental health, relationships, life online, vulnerability, and the value of campaigning, big issues for teenagers today. Seriously Awkward offers a gentle Christian perspective through discussion and reflection, demonstrating how an active faith shapes teenagers' attitudes and responses to these issues. Additional online resources are free to download, allowing young people to research topics if they're particularly interested. Seriously Awkward is fun, hard-hitting, and makes a difference.
We're delighted that the Deputy Editor of Youth Work magazine is here with us this evening to announce the winner of Best Youth Work Resource. Please welcome Ruth Jackson to the stage.
Hiya. Someone once described youth work, Premier Youth Work, as a monthly hug to youth workers. And while I probably can't hug everyone in the room, I want to metaphorically hug all of you and just reiterate what Lee said. You pretty much nicked everything I was going to say, thanks Lee. Just in thanking you so much for the work you do, not only on behalf of the magazine, but also on behalf of young people all across the country. What you do is so important. And as Lee said, we really want to honour you tonight. The people who think that what you do is not important, the people who are just exhausted from sort of trying really hard and seemingly getting nowhere. You guys are doing such amazing kingdom work. And Graham probably had no idea the impact that he was going to make on Lee and those other guys. And likewise, Lee, I'm sure you have no idea the impact that you're going to make on all of those young people that you look after. So just know that what you're doing is amazing, and thank you so much. Youth workers are some of the most inspiring and innovative and creative people that I've ever met. But having said that, even youth workers need good resources. And resources are brilliant because they kind of, good segue, thanks. They help us to think about things in a different way. They help us to get expertise in areas that we probably aren't experts in. They give some of us much needed structure and focus that we need for our sessions. And so it's a real pleasure for me to introduce this person. Probably going to give it away straight away. It was a really, really hard category. All of these resources are amazing and they're doing a brilliant thing, and I wish we could give you all a prize. But this resource, I just think, was doing such a brave thing. They were tackling some of the tricky topics that, quite frankly, we would probably all avoid if we could, and they were tackling them head on. And what's more, a lot of what they do is free, which is always good for youth workers who are on a budget. So the Youth Work Resource of the Year is Seriously Awkward by the Children's Society. Try not to drop it now.
Brilliant. Let's give them another round of applause. So congratulations to the Children's Society. And do check out all of those resources. They are, as Ruth said, totally brilliant and really worth you looking up and finding out more about.
Our next award is for Volunteer of the Year, sponsored by the London School of Theology. LST is the largest interdenominational evangelical theological college in Europe, and is known and admired as a place where intellectual thoroughness and rigour go hand in hand with a passion to see students grow personally and spiritually.
So, as you know, volunteers are at the heart of youth work up and down the country. Tens of thousands of Christians take the time each week to help run youth groups, mentor and support teenagers, and if they're incredibly brave, organise weekends away. Youth work wouldn't exist in the church without volunteers, and their own faith is what often ignites faith in the young people they work alongside.
This award is for a volunteer who's shown exceptional commitment to Christian youth work, freely offering their time and energy to serve young people. They're passionate, skilled, reliable, and servant-hearted. They're a hero of the young people they work with. This award celebrates all they give to make youth work happen. As a small way of saying thank you, the winning nomination will receive a weekend away, completely free from noisy youth group members.
That sounds great. So let's all go on that together and ruin it for them. This year, 3 of the many nominations, 3 volunteers have made it through the selection process to be shortlisted for this evening's final. So let's find out all about them.
Joey volunteers for Llandudno Youth for Christ. Despite his busy schedule working as a teacher and a professional drummer, he works hard to keep his free time to invest in young people. He is especially gifted at working with young people with special educational needs, helping them feel at ease in group settings. Other team members describe Joey as humble, servant-hearted, reliable and generous with his gifts, recognising that he is willing to go the extra mile to ensure that the work of Llandudno Youth for Christ continues to impact young lives.
Elena started volunteering for the PACE project after experiencing the work in her own secondary school. She served on a team in Burnley before leading a team in her hometown of Sheffield. Elena takes responsibility seriously and is committed to seeing tasks through to completion. She is trustworthy and patient, taking time to listen and communicate well with young people, particularly those with mental health issues. Her passion to serve the kingdom, communicating God's love to young people, is evident even in her smile as she works.
Chris has been volunteering at the Hub Youth Club for 7 years, giving up his Friday nights every week when he's usually the first. Chris is often found playing chess or pool with young people, listening to them and sharing experiences. He is particularly good at remembering previous conversations with them and following up on those things at a later date. His passion for young people and to share God with them is evident in his servant heart. Chris consistently faces his own personal challenges to remain committed to serving the young people and sharing his newfound faith with them.
So we're delighted to welcome Matt Adhoc, the Director of Communications here at LST, to the stage.
Good evening. I hope you've had a lovely dinner. Just wanted to say a big thank you to the band who did a great job and the volunteer waiters tonight who've all just been serving us. I didn't coerce them too hard, although they are all studying here. I'm a volunteer youth worker myself. I do Sunday morning teenage youth work for Hitchin Christian Centre in Hitchin, surprisingly. And it's tough. You know, there are mornings when you just don't want to get out of bed, and especially when you're not being paid. It's a different story when you have a job to do. But when you want to do it for the love, for the real heart of those young people, and this was a tough category to call. We struggled as judges to find the winner here because all of these people were worthy, and not just the three shortlisted people, but many of the entries. It was a really tough one. And it's also really encouraging to know that there's such good youth work being done across the country, in all denominations, in all churches, great and small. It's just really inspiring. But there has to be a winner. And the winner tonight is someone who, we just thought stood out. This is someone who's just been dedicated, someone who gives their time freely and has done it for a long time, has consistently demonstrated the love of God and faithfulness to those young people. I've been told to keep it short, so I'm going to just announce the winner. The winner tonight is Chris Haddon from the Faith Trust. Well done.
Thank you. Let's give them another round of applause. And a massive congratulations to Chris and to all of those shortlisted this evening. Alice.
Our fourth award this evening is for Most Innovative Youth Work. This recognises a project that's bursting with faith and creativity. It may involve a fresh approach in existing contexts or innovation in reaching out to new groups of young people. It will have successfully overcome challenges or filled a gap in Christian youth work.
As the needs of young people change and the culture changes that they grow up in, youth work has to respond to these new challenges and develop different ways of working.
We're delighted that the Institute for Children, Youth and Mission are sponsoring this award. CYM's teaching centres in Bristol, Cambridge, Ireland and the Midlands and Oxford offer a wide range of courses for professional development as well as undergraduate and postgraduate studies.
So here to present the award and the prize of £300 cold hard cash to spend on the project is Robin Barden, the Director of Cambridge CYM. Let's hand over to Robin.
Thank you. £300, that's got to be the best, hasn't it? No. We at Cambridge CYM would be proud to present any of these awards, to be honest with you. Again, as was said at the beginning, the recognition of work that has been going on day in and day out, year in and year out, is what this is all about. And we are would be honoured, as I said, to have offered any of these. But the innovative category particularly recognises those who have met a need that is both creative, new, and perhaps does a way that hasn't been done before. And the organisation that we want to present this award to is an organisation that has used social media in a very creative way to allow young people who are often at the edge of the church to have a voice, but not only to have a voice, but in having a voice, to find a path of healing and reconciliation for themselves and within the church community. So it's our great privilege to present the prize to Diverse Church.
Congratulations. And there was only one nominee that made it through to the selection process, so we're going to show you the video about them now because it would have been a bit of a giveaway before the awards. So let's just see that now.
Diverse Church started in 2013 using social media networks to support LGBT+ Christians seeking to live faithfully within the church. Many young LGBT+ Christians become isolated, knowing that some church members disapprove of their situation, often leading to poor mental health or even suicide. Diverse Church are careful not to prescribe a response regarding sexuality or relationship choices, instead offering online groups and regional hubs to provide loving encouragement and peer-to-peer pastoral support. Diverse Church now has a community of over 300 people with 17 active hubs across the UK. Love for Jesus and his people is at the very heart of their work.
Congratulations, Diverse. Now, let's think about young people themselves, and particularly those who help as young leaders in the church.
So, the award for Young Leader of the Year will be given to a young Christian who's rooted in their local church and having significant influence on other young people around them. Their impact is in demonstrating their leadership to their peers, and their relationship with Jesus influences their character and the vision with which they lead. They are humble and hardworking, patient, and willing to learn. They are a brilliant example to other young people.
This award is sponsored by the Methodist Church, who put a particular emphasis on developing leaders across their denomination. We're delighted that Gail Adhoc, the Family's Ministries Development Officer, is here to present the award and an amazing prize of an iPad.
But before Gail comes to tell us more, let's hear the stories of those 3 young people who've been shortlisted from the many nominations.
Jenny is 17 and currently studying for A-levels, but that doesn't affect her commitment to her Christian beliefs or her church family at Chellaston Methodist Church. She supports the Sunday school leaders, encourages other young people, leads at Holiday Club, and assists with the planning and running of Messy Church. But Jenny's skills really come to life in her leadership of the youth music group. A talented musician herself, Jenny took over the group when the previous leader left. She now liaises with the preacher to choose songs for the monthly all-age service, transposes parts for younger players, and hosts and leads rehearsals without any support. Jenny is readily able to articulate her Christian faith and is a great example to the other young people in the way she lives out her faith.
Ben is in Year 12 at Abbey Grange Academy School in Leeds, where he has been an active peer leader for 3 years, helping oversee the lunchtime youth life groups, which involves teaching scripture, exploring worship, and sharing personal testimony. Ben regularly attends training sessions and provides feedback so that the life groups that run in the school can become more effective in sharing the gospel. Last Christmas, Ben spoke at the school Christmas service in Leeds Minster, where he shared his own experience of faith with over 1,200 students and staff. He has since set up a weekly worship session for other pupils at his school. Ben has a depth and integrity about his faith that is exceptional in one so young.
Matthew Rowe is a young leader at Life Church Lancashire, where he leads the tech team for Kids Church. He's always willing to help and is a reliable volunteer who often asks for opportunities to serve. Matthew worked hard to develop the skills needed to join the tech team. Last summer, the church hosted a 2-week training conference for youth workers. Matthew volunteered to help, arriving at church at 7:30 a.m. every day, and often stayed late to pack up or prepare for the next day. Matthew is a servant. His heart is to serve others, not so he can be seen, but so he can be more like Jesus and love others. He devotes a significant portion of his free time to being a part of the church family and is incredibly committed to what the local church is trying to achieve inside and outside its walls.
Please welcome Gail Adhook to introduce the award and tell us who's won.
It gives me really enormous pleasure to be able to announce the winner of this on behalf of the Methodist Church because we are so passionate about youth leadership, and we've been working hard over the past few years to develop a programme of participation and recognising that children and young people are actively at work in the life of our churches, and it's something that the wider church needs to embrace and really kind of work hard at recognising the contribution that they make to our life as church community. And I remember actually that when I was 18, growing up in the Methodist Church, that I first led a holiday club. And at 18, I didn't think twice about the fact that I went to the church leadership team and said, hey, can I do this? I can run a holiday club. Because actually at that point in life, often you're prepared to take perhaps risks that maybe later in life, someone as old as me perhaps no longer feels quite able to do. So we're really thrilled to read the stories of these 3 folk who have been developing their leadership skills, who have recognised that actually they have a sense of calling. They want to serve other people, they want to serve their churches, and they want to do that in a way which is humble and obedient to what God has for their lives. And so it gives me enormous pleasure to announce that the winner of this category is Jenny Hubble.
Thank you. And congratulations not only to Jenny, but to everyone nominated tonight. The competition, even to make it to the shortlist, is incredibly intense, and you're all to be congratulated for being here this evening.
On to our final award. Now, our final award is Youth Worker of the Year, sponsored by Moorlands College.
Moorlands operates across 3 campuses in sunny Christchurch, the Southwest and the Midlands, and their mix of short courses and undergraduate and postgraduate studies helps equip students who are passionate about Jesus to impact the church and the world. And many youth workers all over the country will have started their training at Moorlands.
This award celebrates the great work being done by paid, part-time or full-time youth workers in churches and Christian organisations all around the UK.
So to be nominated for this award, a youth worker must excel at building positive relationships with young people, helping them to see their potential and fulfill it. Their faith inspires everything they do, and they work to the highest standards of best practice. They're hardworking, patient, caring, and a great example to young people.
That is a massive list of things to accomplish, but the nominees have all done it. Now, among the nominations, the judges selected 3 youth workers who particularly stood out. The winner will receive a shiny new iPad. Let's start by finding out about them.
Judy is a youth worker in Horsham, working across the churches in the parish to connect with young people in the community through chaplaincy, mentoring, behaviour support, youth cafe and cell groups. She shows great professionalism in her communication with volunteers, making sure they are aware of the plans in advance and checking they are comfortable with their responsibility. She also oversees the risk assessments and safeguarding elements of the work. Judy is passionate about seeing young people reach their full potential, supporting them through mental health issues, connecting with those who feel isolated. She is always full of life and energy, sharing her faith and stories of life with young people.
Rebecca is the youth worker at St Albans Church in Fulham, where her care and love for the young people naturally reflects the love of God for them. She creates context and boundaries for the youth team to build trusting relationships with teenagers, allowing them to share fun experiences as well as challenging them to be the best they can be. Rebecca is committed to prayer both for and with the young people, making it a regular part of their time together, even though the majority of the group aren't from a Christian background. She has also worked hard to establish the church as a key player in activities with the local authorities, resulting in a range of activities for young people on the estates, reducing antisocial behaviour and contributing to the safer neighbourhood plans.
Chris is a passionate Christian, investing time in reading the Bible, praying, and considering how his own faith relates to his work with young people. He is tenacious, determined, and persistent. Through this, he doesn't give up on any young person despite their reputation, character, or previous form. Since moving to Poole, Chris has worked hard to build relationships with families on the estate where he lives and is now an integral part of the community. The teenagers know he values them for who they are, and he encourages them to make the best of their life chances. They start to ask questions and become curious about who he is, giving him opportunities to share his faith.
So we're delighted that Andy Dufour, the Director of Community and Youth and Community Work at Moorlands, is here tonight to present the award. Andy.
Thank you very much. So I came in through London the wrong way today. You should have come from the north down like the guys from Burnley, right? I came through on the tube and I was crammed against the tube wall by about 30 to 60. I couldn't count quite because I couldn't see. Scotsmen. And they're all singing songs about Yogi Bear. That wasn't great. What was great is the Youth Work Awards. That's great, right? Another great thing, one of my favourite footballers has just scored a goal. I'm not going to give you the scoreline. That's great as well. But what's really interesting is what we're celebrating tonight is a weird inversion of what the world knows as great. Total inversion. And I just want to share one scripture that I just absolutely love, because we're in the presence tonight of greatness. And those three people that you've just seen nominated there are high caliber, high capacity youth workers. And not just youth workers, but I want to add in youth and community workers, those who really invest in the wider picture of youth work where they're at. Whoever wants to be great among you must become the least. Whoever wants to be the greatest must be the slave of all. Isn't that great? An outstanding perspective on greatness. The award goes to one, but God's commendation goes to all three. Well done, good and faithful servants. You're pleased in the Father heart of God. So Judy, Chris and Becca, you've all served outstandingly as we've seen tonight. But for a place of concrete influence in the community, for relating to a range of agencies across the town, advocating for young people, a dedication to an exceptional level of youth work with young people. The award for Youth Worker of the Year 2016 goes to Becca Willett.
And congratulations to Becca. Enjoy your iPad. I'm very jealous.
Just to be clear, that's not Lee's iPad, which we recycle every year, although that was an idea at one point. So that's our final award. But before we finish this evening, I just want to congratulate again all the winners and everyone who's been nominated. Everyone here this evening is outstanding and important, and we're incredibly proud that you've been recognised in this way.
We also want to thank our sponsoring organisations who help fund the awards and take part in the judging panel. Your support makes this evening possible, and we're proud to have you all associated with the awards. Thank you for presenting the awards and for all those weekend breaks, new Apple gadgets, financial support, and the other prizes that you've given.
And just a final note of thanks to the team here at LST who've hosted our evening and provided our food, prepared it, served us, the band as we've already heard, and the technical team who've made it possible for Mum, Dad and Grandma and Grandpa to watch online this evening. Thank you to all of those. Let's give them a round of applause.
As we close, there'll be an opportunity for some final photos. So could we please ask all those nominated to come to the stage at the end?
Yes, we'd love everyone who's been nominated tonight to have a photograph taken in their group, just so that we can send it to you and you can have a memory of the evening. But from that point, we're going to say thank you for being here tonight. We hope you've really enjoyed the evening. God bless and safe journey home. And there's always one final notice, and it is that your certificates, which are part of the awards, are at the back there and can be collected. But if the nominees could come to the front, and our photographer will grab different groups right now. Thank you.
Professionals for that.
Because could you see me shaking? Like how hard I was trying to hold my
go.
It's gone now. I think it was just nervous.